Today, I did something that I never thought I'd do. I gave up coffee. For context, for the past 5 years, I've been a bona fide coffee addict. And not just any coffee like Folgers, but good, artisanal coffee. At one point, I had over 8 different kinds of craft coffee in my cupboard. And at the start of med school, I was drinking a minimum of 3 to 4 cups a day, every day. Then one day I thought, I wonder what would happen if I quit. So, in the month of March, I quit coffee, cold. I thought about doing the smart, responsible thing of slowly weaning myself off, but ultimately I decided, nah. To make things even better, I decided to start my little experiment right as my first year med school class was beginning neuroanatomy, one of the most notorious courses at my school. I call this strategy misery bundling. Within days of giving up coffee cold turkey, I was experiencing side effects I hadn't even imagined. Day 1. The first thing I noticed on day 1 of my no coffee experiment was that it was hard to wake up. I was groggy all throughout the day, and after class I immediately went home and took a midday nap. Day 2. This is when the caffeine withdrawal started to hit. I was still more tired than usual, but I was also starting to get headaches, which I usually never experience. Day 4. Now this is when things really started to kick up a notch. I was moody, irritable, and emotionally volatile. My emotions were all over the place. One minute I was fine, then the next I was in tears over something my friend had said. Then the next minute I was fine again. And it was like this all day. I was swinging back and forth between emotional extremes. On top of that, my brain was foggy. I couldn't focus on anything, which made it hard to study. I found myself taking multiple naps throughout the day. While I was studying, part of me just really wanted a fancy little drink, so I would make some tea to keep me company. Hey, I said I'd give up coffee, not caffeine. Day 7. After a tumultuous week, I finally started to notice some improvements by day 7. I was falling asleep faster, which is one of the benefits I was most hoping would happen, as I've always been a bit of an insomniac. My sleep was still a little restless, which I attributed to the stress from neuroanatomy, but overall, things were starting to look up. Day 10. This was the most normal I felt since starting this whole endeavor. My energy was up, I was alert and cognizant, and my sleep quality was back to baseline. Day 20. This is when I was basically back to normal. I wasn't having any crazy mood swings anymore. Waking up in the morning was so much easier, and my coffee cravings had gone away. Sometimes I still miss the taste, but my morning tea has been an adequate substitute. Day 31. And today is officially the end of my no coffee experiment. I was so excited to finally drink coffee again, but not because of any cravings, because those have been gone for weeks now. I mostly miss the taste and the way that I used to be. That first sip of coffee after a whole month of abstinence was honestly more bitter than I remember. I guess my palate had regressed. Day 45. It's been about 2 weeks since I ended my coffee abstinence, and honestly, I still don't really crave it anymore. I mostly stick to 1 cup of tea a day, and in the last 2 weeks, I've only had a cup of coffee once, and it was mostly for the nostalgia. I'm surprised because honestly, I thought I'd go back to my coffee addict ways immediately following the experiment, but I just don't crave it anymore. Mostly, I miss the ritual. The smell of a fresh pot of coffee in the early morning, bringing along my fancy little drink with me when I study. But all in all, I'm glad I did this experiment because it taught me that I can change even my most ingrained habits. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.